Now in its 10th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, this is Alex, and this is the Ramble, and we go from now until midnight. What the heck? Let's just do this. Ladies and gentlemen, down there in Florida. Oh boy, Florida. I don't know. I remember when I came back from Florida and how much I hated it.
Oh, you were in Miami. Yeah.
Miami.
And
yeah.
now we're in the Panhandle, and it seems to escape some of the Floridian cliches. Like, we get hurricanes, and there have been a couple bad ones in the last decade.
Yeah.
But we don't suffer the all the damage. Instead of knock on wood, knocking out a Rhinebeck chair.
Right. So, in other words, the culture's a little different up there in the Panhandle?
Yeah, it's laid back. I mean, people when you go to a shop, you call them by name. It's a little like, and we're in a little town, a little kind of boutique town, 17 miles from a major tourist area.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to live in the tourist area, and I didn't want to live in the other place nearby, which has a militaristic. It's a fort. I just didn't want to live in militaristic.
So did you guys buy a house there then?
We did. We
Good.
did. And it's like we can carry our kayak to the water. So
you can carry your kayak to the water. That is something that I can't imagine is you in a kayak.
Oh, I'll send you a picture to show I'm not lying. Yeah. Well, it's fun. Now and it's as laid back or as strenuous as you want to be. I'm not like the competitive Kennedys, but we got that, and we have a wakeboard where you just stand on it, and you can see.
I can't imagine you doing that either. I never knew you to be athletic.
I fish all the time. Actually, I'm a kind of.
Oh, you fish.
Oh yeah.
What is this? Is this Lori Thompson 2.0?
Right. Yes, I guess because as a child I fished. I'm kind of returning to some of the things of my youth.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was pretty.
You
athletic.
never used to talk about that on the radio. Otherwise, we would have talked fishing with you.
Oh yeah, and the thing, we had a canoe when I was a kid, and I used to hoist a wachita. And I used to hoist it myself onto our station wagon. And so I was about 16, I guess, and tie it up and then take it out to the creeks and do the canoe myself. I just take books or something.
Okay, well, that's the Lori Thompson I never knew, because the one I knew was just stoned all the time.
Well, there's too many versions. Too many easier diversions in California.
Yeah. Anyway, it's wonderful, actually, to tell you the truth, that you're doing this kind of thing. I'm sitting up here in New York with the New York lifestyle slowly killing me. There's no reason to go out because what's out there? Pavement.
Yes. Oh, yeah, so which can kill you. Speaking of which, we were in Hvar, which is a very cool place in Croatia. If you go.
You're dropping Croatian names now to make me feel jealous.
Yes. I remember them like, that's where I got that cool shirt. Or that's where I fell on my face on the way back to the boat. My whole left side was bruised of my face. It took all the impact. And when I fall...
all the impact from falling?
Oh, yeah. But when I fall, people commented, it's not like a gentle fall. Mm-hmm. It's like, and it feels like this, like someone picked me up by the scruff of the neck and smashed me down on the pavement.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was so bruised. I said, Rick, how much are you going to pay me to tell people that you don't hit me?
Yeah, well, you know what happened? I can't talk about this. How can I put this? Marjorie had a certain procedure done on her face which left a bruise. No, 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 don't say that. She'd be
Botox?
very
I
mad.
get
No,
Botox.
I absolutely deny that she
Your
has
wife,
any Botox.
your wife doesn't, but I do.
Actually, if she had to do Botox, they would have to bring the truck up to the house, and it would like be pumped out like gasoline into her
I was.
face.
I just want a big enough container to bathe in.
But
You know,
anyway,
the boat.
she's got this bruise right here, and every time she gets a bruise of one sort or another, I get this horrible feeling that people are going to think I was responsible for it.
Yeah. Well, it's get this. I fell once before when I was in Mississippi. There was I was going up some stairs, and I don't think these stairs were up to code, frankly. But I started, and I was
Are
wearing
you
shoes.
clumsy? Is this something I didn't know about you?
I don't think so, but I had tube socks on, and it was a wooden.
Oh, those dangerous tube socks.
Right, the tube socks can kill.
Yeah.
And I'm more at 11. And so I started to slide, and I grabbed this hall tree, which was nearby,
Mm-hmm.
and before thinking, oh, that's, a stable thing. Of course, hall trees aren't stable at all. I yanked down, and it gave me like this. First of all, it was up here, so I knew enough to put ice on it. Ice is so great. So I did. I just put ice on it for like an hour and a half. And what it did was drive the bruise down and gave me two pronounced black eyes.
Oh,
And
great. Oh, wonderful. And then your husband walks down the street with you, and they're all staring at him.
yeah, well, I wasn't married at the time, but I was going to AA meetings. And of course, the natural assumption when you're AA was, oh,
You're
what'd
drinking again. You're
Yeah, you're
drinking
drinking.
again.
and you got beat up in an argument when you were drunk. And so I would, I wore, and I thought, well, I'll just wear sunglasses. Who wears sunglasses indoors at an AA meeting? So I'm just gonna tell them what happened.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Marjorie, once she fell and did something, and she really got bruised up, and I didn't want to be seen with her.
Really?
Mainly not because I didn't like the way she looked, although it was kind of interesting.
Mine was grisly.
But not that it wasn't grisly, but I didn't want people thinking I did it.
Exactly. Then I can see where men have that very, I would say.
Now here's the
justified-
sexism in it all. When a guy walks down the street and he's bruised up in his face, nobody thinks his wife beat him.
No.
They
And
always
some
think the
people-
guy beat him. And
True.
believe me, I've known women who were that abusive.
Oh yeah. Well, some couples get off on it. Not. And I know. There's a scene in The Perfect Storm where Mark Wahlberg is in a couple, and one of their things is to beat themselves. Diane Lane plays his fiance, and they like beating each other up. I don't know what it is.
Well, I understand that there's a certain thing, S&M play and things like that, but that's play, and it's under a controlled circumstance. I mean, suddenly getting into an argument where you want to beat the crap out of your mate is a little sick.
Yeah. Well, I don't believe in physical violence.
I'll tell
of
you,
any kind.
when I was a kid, we lived up on the hill in Marin County in San Anselmo, and next to us was a house that was also up on the hill, and it had a bunch of stone steps that led down to the street. I don't know. The number of steps that went up to our place was, I think, 77 steps. I don't know how many concrete steps there were there, but one night we hear this whole thing, and the husband, I think it was, took the wife and threw her down the flight of stairs
Oh my Lord.
to where she wound up in the hospital. She was all bruised and everything. And after it was all over, and I remember this as a kid because my parents were always commenting on it, like, how can she do that? Once she gets out of the hospital, she shouldn't go back there. What did she do? She went back there.
Well, because in that era, in some eras, the woman had no choice. Where would she live?
Well,
how would
I
she-
think we even offered that she could stay at our place, and she
Yeah.
didn't take up on the offer.
Well, the transition is, I think some people are just not equipped to not have someone to rely on, and that's, for I was raised with a
Well,
very independent freak as a girl.
yeah, yeah,
My dad,
but I mean, there are women who go, "Well, I can change him."
yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know that that's a thinking as much as what else am I going to do?
but I'll tell you what's worse. What's worse is there are guys in this world who have wives who beat the crap out of them.
I
And
know.
guys will never complain about it. They will never tell anybody because they're ashamed of it.
Right.
Where women have a different reason for not telling anybody or not doing it. Guys, if they are getting abused by the woman, and I know some of you are thinking, how can they be abused by the woman? Hey, listen, I'm not a strapping guy. If a woman wants to beat the crap out of me, she can. Well, I don't want her to, but she can. Um, you know, but guys always had a hard time getting around something like that because it was a male just didn't let a woman beat him up.
Yeah,
You know,
I think shame has a large impact on some of the worst decisions we make.
I'll tell you, I've been beaten up by women only because my father, who was a real gentleman, said, "You never, ever hit a woman." Okay, so I grew up with that whole thing. You never hit a woman, unless, of course, you're in Norway and you're there with your newswoman, and somebody thinks you did. Uh, you remember that?
I do remember that. It was like,
Oh, that was just. But that was a case where I, as a guy, I became radicalized towards being a guy from that incident.
really?
Because yeah, what it was, quickly for the people out there who don't know what we're talking about, we were
Yeah,
at the
we talked.
Olympics. We were doing shows at the Olympics, and they put us in different rooms in Lillehammer, and
They thought you were hitting me,
what?
and they thought you were hitting me, which was
Well,
a
no, what
total.
happened was you were staying with a woman
Yeah.
who you came out and we had a fight and we were yelling at each other because
No, I was running late and I was getting ready, and but people didn't realize how we bantered. How we bantered,
yeah,
and she was very much a feminist, but she totally, for a news person,
yeah.
uh, misinterpreted the
Well,
whole
what
thing.
happened was what she heard outside. I think at one point I clapped my hands or hit my fist when I was talking to you.
Yeah,
And
or maybe just
yeah,
might have been like we're telling a story.
yeah. And so the next day, I go into the Coca-Cola studios, and I am cornered by the Coca-Cola police.
The Coke.
I'm literally arrested by the. I mean, I have in my life. I can in my resume. I can put down arrested by Coca-Cola police, and they take me down to the basement. And I said, "What's this about?" And they said, "Well, we heard that last night you hit Lori Thompson."
And see, I mean, to me, that was the most bizarre thing ever.
Because that's the last thing I would do.
The last thing I would do, we never had, and I thought,
And
that,
the reason we were fighting and grouchy that night is we had been stopped at the airport and I had been frisked and everything like that because
it was
yeah,
the trip from hell. Remember, you just broken up with your girlfriend. You paid a taxi driver. We weren't going to make our flight, which had already been postponed to several times. I mean, where we had to wait at home by the phone. And so we weren't going to make our flight. It was all the way on the other side of the airport. So you paid a taxi driver rather than mess with those people mover things, which weren't going to do it for us. You paid a taxi driver to drive us to the other side of the airport.
yeah, yeah.
Didn't make our flight.
But
And
it was just a miserable flight, and so that night she and I had an argument. Okay, I don't know what it was about. It was just grouchy, you know.
it's
And,
probably about where we were going to have dinner.
but
I mean,
anyway, they said, "Well, her roommate said you hit her,"
and
and I
no
went,
way.
"What?" And they said, "We're going to have to wait for Lori to come in to have her confirm this, like it was for real." They were getting ready. I think they already had my ticket ready to send me home, you know.
Yeah.
And you come into work, and they bring you down into another room, and they ask you, "Did Alex hit you last night?" And you said, "What?"
So we had gone to dinner then and had a wonderful time and decompressed and just had a good time. It was the weirdest thing ever for me. I mean, it was just,
I know. And
huh?
so she said no, and they came down. They said, Lori said no, you did not hit her, so you can go back up and do your show. And I don't know if they apologized or not, but they were getting very apologetic because they smelled lawsuit. You know,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
because
Now that would
yeah. I
a lot.
mean, I just said no. I would never hit her. What? Are you out of your mind?
That
So
that
this woman had said, "I hit you," so they sent her home. You remember? They
I
was,
don't that part, but I
yeah,
remember she told this whole scenario that didn't happen out of a one side. She couldn't see us. She just heard us.
yeah,
That's like when Marvin Gaye says, "Believe half of what you see, some are none of what you hear."
yeah,
And because like it would be like you know the person you who we're talking to being hauled in suddenly with a knock on your door by police for murdering somebody in a distant city. It was that weird.
well,
It was
if anything radicalized me about male empowerment and male problems that males have, it's just that exact thing. That it was easily believed because I was a male that I may have hit you.
well, see, and I don't understand this politicization
Yeah.
of that word is of gender. I mean, I think there should be unisex bathrooms all over the place. We have them in our homes.
Oh,
You know,
all bathrooms should be unisex because,
yes,
like, for instance, you ever go to a movie theater and the movie lets out, and if I want to go to the bathroom, I just walk in to go to the bathroom. You have to wait in a line to get into
right.
that women's room. That's why I think all theaters, by law, should be forced to make, if they're going to have a women's room, it should be twice as big as the men's room.
Right. I just think unisex all the way because, otherwise, if a movie advertised Titanic, it was like, are they talking about the movie or the length of the line after the movie for women?
Yeah, I
It was just
mean it's
ridiculous.
terrible. It's terrible. And so therefore, I don't know why. You know what? We don't want to see women's vaginas. We're not going to see them because women are going into the stalls. They're not.
Right.
You're not going to the urinals. You
Right.
know.
Well,
And
it's
what you do is
impractical.
you do away with the urinals and you make it nothing but stalls.
That's it. And do you know how it would cut down on pedophilia? I think because a little boy who's like what 5, he stops going in. His mother stops going in with him. You know,
Yes. Right.
yeah. After
Right.
it would cut down on that, I think indirectly. And unisex bathrooms to me are the
We have
way to go.
solved one of the biggest problems in the world.
All I know, all in a day's
No,
work
but
for us.
you're absolutely right, and I think we should do away with the urinals. I never use the urinal anyway. I don't want some guy next to me peeing and then maybe turning around while he's peeing. Oh, you're Alex Bennett. I mean,
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
not a desire of yours.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a desire of mine. So I always went to the stall.
Yeah, and I'm not a super modest person. Like if there's one, if I'm in a stall and the lock's funky, I just
Hmm.
do my best and then get ready to say, I'll be out in a minute. That's what I always say. I'll be out in a minute.
But you know
Let's
something, I was. It's really terrific. But I have become a connoisseur of the stall. And the stall I always go for is the
it,
wheelchair access stall
you
because
know
it's roomy. It's roomy.
it is roomy, but I struggle with it because like what if there's I mean, and I can qualify now, as one of those, I guess, can we qualify as elderly? I don't know. But I used to use those. Now I hesitate to because I've seen people in genuine like wheelchairs. I
In
mean,
genuine wheelchairs, what they're not they're
wheelchairs.
ungenuine wheelchairs.
You're right. They were flooding the market for a while. Big wheelchairs. They disappeared when you sat down, and people laughed.
Well,
But
I have this friend Patrick, and he is a paraplegic. And I asked him once. I said, I like using the what do you call it stall?
regular,
The handicap stall.
yeah,
Oh,
because
the handy capable stall.
that's
Okay.
that's it.
Yeah.
Well, there
Uh,
Yeah, because I mean that I struggle with, so I usually
Yeah,
use the
yeah.
stall.
So I said, I like to use it. I said, do you mind as somebody who is wheelchair bound? And he said, no. But if I
Yeah.
knock on the door and say I'm in a wheelchair and I got to use the stall, you just hurry up and finish and let me in. You know.
Now that's how two confident people would deal with it.
Yeah.
But I'm always like I've got
Well,
this hyper.
there's no law that I can't use the handicap stall.
No,
It's only there for the occasional handicapped person who will come in to the
yeah.
stall. You know.
Well, and see, an urgency too. Is that's a handicap. Like if you got a wee and it becomes down to a measure of am I
Well,
going to quit or
yeah, I've got to say this is the difference between men and women. There is a difference, folks. I've figured that
oh
one out. Women, when they have to pee, can't hold it.
no, not it's especially if you have low sodium, you can't hold it.
You
You
can't.
just
Women cannot hold it. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. In fact, I had a
yeah.
wife that once I had to stop by the side of the road so she could run off to the side of the road and pee because she couldn't wait to get to a bathroom.
Wildlife portion of our program.
Yeah.
And
So.
yeah, and well, you just can tie yours in a knot.
Well,
Which
no, that's not it. That's not it. But what we can do, if worse comes to worse, we have the advantage of being able to urinate out of a moving car.
that's true. That's not only that, but every living person, every person walking around that you see
Yeah.
represents
Yeah.
male or I don't think that, what about the woman? Did she have one too? To me, reproduction should only occur if both people reach the mountain peak and have an O. Then,
Wouldn't it be horrible if you got pregnant from an incident where you didn't have an orgasm?
yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be
it should have been worth it because you then got to
Yeah.
put up with this brat for the next 21 years.
too, if we could gene splice so that that's a rule.
That's
it
a rule.
only,
Yeah.
we have
You
to
know,
wait.
if you people out there would just let Lori and I run the world, we'd
Oh.
solve all the problems.
Right, and you can take the rest of the day off, and we'll just sit here solving your problems all before noon, and
Yep.
then go and have fun.
Yeah.
Good to-
Yeah. Yeah.
up.
So I think we've just solved the world's problems.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
exhilarated.
but I mean, women have no ability to hold it, and I understand why. It's the way the plumbing is created, and it's
Yeah.
you know, but like for instance, it's funny, every time I go to the bathroom to use it, my wife's in there, we have this timing. That, so go use the other. We have two toilets, so
Well, there you go.
yeah.
Solve problem.
Yeah, and then we can knock on the wall to each other because it's right on the other. One is right on the other side of the other one. So
Oh, that's handy. So
We-
that when you hear noises, could be you.
yeah, well,
Could-
we have what's called a powder room. In other words, powder rooms don't have showers.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. They had those in some. A friend of mine had those. The first one I encountered, it was we
Mhm.
went to see a boyfriend's grandmother, and she had one of those with the pole thing,
Mhm.
like it was only a toilet in a room,
Right.
and it was a
Right. Well, we have a toilet and a sink, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's a powder room. They call them powder rooms. You know how I found out? Because I watch all these things on YouTube with people showing very fancy houses and
Oh, yeah.
apartments and things like that. And they say, and then we have a powder room, and then we have a full bathroom here, with the shower and everything. So,
Well, New York architecture and real estate is, man, it's an animal all to its own. Because I was watching, just reading them. I can read some of those ads for like condos, and go, what are they talking about? What pre-war? Pre-war means high sea.
and then we also have rent stabilized apartments as opposed to non-stabilized, and rent controlled is an old one that doesn't
Yeah.
exist anymore. But people who have rent controlled apartments are living the good life because
Mhm.
they can actually will that apartment to a relative.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Great coup.
And and the rent in those things goes back a great deal, so that maybe an apartment house like this, they're like $1,000, $1,500 is nothing much.
Wow. Yeah, because I've looked at some of those videos, And it's amazing what you can and can't get for $300,000 in New York.
Oh, you can't get anything for
No,
$300,000 in New York. Are you kidding me?
right.
Hey,
Not unless,
listen, I just
yeah.
looked, I enjoy these so much
So I
because
so
it's
look.
exactly what we used to do this is what we'd be doing if we were doing a radio show in the morning. We'd be
Yes.
going into just this same kind of discussion that we're having here. And
Yeah. So fun. It's so
last week we learned the difference between Stuckies and Buckies.
very
And
important.
this week we learned everything we want to know about women's plumbing. So,
Yeah.
anyway,
And the only generalization that I have found that applies is that men tend to leave cabinets open when they're making something.
really,
Across the
we
board.
do that?
Dad,
You may be right. You may be
yeah.
right.
Check
Uh,
that
well, I'll
theory
make
and
sure but we, you know what I've learned to do? We're running over a little bit here. I put, I always, when I'm through using it, put the toilet seat down.
that's nice.
She's bullied me into that one.
You mean the rim part, not the cover.
Not the cover, no.
No, because I don't like that when the cover's down. It's like you go to sit down and it's like, whoa, I just like hurt my tailbone. Because I expect
Right. You expect a hole there. Anyway, hey, listen, let's do this again next week, okay?
okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's our favorite woman who isn't my wife, Laurie Thompson. Thanks, Laurie.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Now in its 10th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Yes, thank you so much, Laurie. We appreciate it. Actually, that's a recording of an old interview. Laurie is going through chemotherapy. She's going through radiation. She's going through hell, is what I got to tell you. You know, it's just like, it's not. It's a touch and go situation. She keeps saying to me, I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it. I'm sorry I got to bug out because I can't do it because I don't feel like it. And I feel so sorry for her, you know, because she's such a nice lady. I don't like to see anybody have to go through this. But hopefully the chemo will work, and hopefully she will live a long, long, long and prosperous life. Okay, so I'm thinking the best for her, and yeah, I'm thinking the best for her. Anyway, it's time, I suppose. There are a couple of people waiting, two people waiting to come on here. Oh, is that all? Okay, well, you know, means that I could sign off early, I guess, tonight if I really wanted to. But let's admit everybody in to the to this gathering here. Admit all. There we go. And there's Charlie Wallace, and there is Alan. Hello, Alan.
Hello,
Hello,
Alex.
hello. Yeah. And hello, Charlie.
Hi, Alex.
How you
Got the
doing?
wrong date on your shirt.
What?
Charlie's got the wrong date on this shirt.
What do you mean
You
he has the
expect
wrong
us
date
to
on his
change
shirt?
dates?
We don't know what that date means, do we?
No.
Yeah, well, you ought to. There was the total eclipse that was visible here in Austin last April. So
Ah.
got a shirt for it,
Mm-hmm.
and I decided to wear it.
You should get Wayne a shirt like that. It was his birthday too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to see here. Hold on a second. What's my problem? I don't know why I'm getting, you guys are loud enough, but I have to use my earphones to hear it. I don't know. All this is weird. I don't get any of it. Okay, here comes Kevin. He's joining us here in a moment.
You know?
Yeah, okay. Hello, Kevin. How are you? He has to wave. He has to make sure his mic is on.
Oh, he's eating.
He's eating? Well, everybody eats. Well, look, it's eating time in California right now, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when you start eating, I don't really look down on it that much.
Well, I'd
Could be
die
walking
if I
around
had to
and
wait
eating.
till 8 o'clock to eat.
What?
I said I would die if I had to wait till 8 o'clock to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was working on some plumbing, and I had an issue with a valve out front. So then, of
Oh.
course, the toilet. It started with the toilet, and then ended up being a valve that broke when I cut off the water to the house, and that broke. So you go to Home Depot, and they don't have anything you need. So I go to two other stores, and oh, that thing's so old, you need to just replace the whole thing. And then you got to sweat on a couple more pipes and new valve, and yeah. $5 valve, $218 later.
200
Copper is
what? Wait a
expensive.
minute. How much valve?
A $5 valve turned
Yeah.
into about $218 because copper is very expensive.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I've been there.
Are
Yeah.
you done
Yep.
with the project? Are you
Yep.
done with the
And of
project?
course, I got all kinds of half inch, but I needed 1 inch. So yeah.
Well, I have to kind of respect Kevin for the fact that he can even do that sort of thing. You know, I've never been
Yeah,
very.
I try.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm not good at. I'm good at solving certain problems. You know, like we have no lights in our closets here, so I came up with the idea of getting these lights that you get outdoors that when you walk they turn on.
Yeah.
So that's what I put in all my closets. And
Yeah.
they made better and better ones, so I bought better and better ones. But I've got some really good light in my closets now. But I
Yeah, I
can
put
solve.
those in our cabinets for the food and stuff too. So
Yeah.
you open them up because they're deep. You don't see in there, and you can't see nothing.
Right.
So I just stick them in there. You open up the door, they light up. You close it. 10 seconds later, they're off.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well, I bought a garage sale about 20 years ago. If you need any plumbing supplies, come see me. I can
Oh,
do
damn.
I can do plumbing. I got 20-foot lengths of half, 3/4, and 1-inch copper.
Oh, dang. Better
Yeah.
put it under a lock and key. The guy
Yeah.
at the Home Depot had to open double locked cabinet.
Really?
And then I said, okay, thanks. And I grabbed it and he goes, no, I got to walk it up there for you.
What?
Yeah.
was this copper?
Yeah. Copper pipe.
Wow.
Is
It was
copper?
only a 5-foot piece.
We had problems at the softball field because people would break in and steal the copper out of the lights.
Exactly.
So you get there and the lights don't work.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what my mother-in-law works at Home Depot, and she says that there's constant stealing of wire
Wow.
and copper. Constant
this-
stealing.
This
And they don't
guy-
let them go after them. They just let them walk.
Apparently, this guy died and was a plumber, and his wife had a garage sale. And I
Yeah.
said, "I'm handy. I'll take it all."
That's
And
what you
got,
do.
I got like 3 20-foot lengths of all, half inch, 3/4 inch, and 1 inch, and all kinds of plumbing supplies, faucets, and all kinds of stuff. Cost me $50.
Okay, now wait a minute. What is so important about copper these days? Why are people stealing copper?
It's expensive.
It's worth money.
Yeah, because it's getting more and more expensive.
I mean, an 8-foot piece of half inch, 3/4 inch was $68.
Wow.
Well,
Too
wait
bad
a
you
minute,
didn't
but
live
I
closer.
don't understand it. Wasn't copper like one of the cheapest things you could get in the old days? I mean, didn't they make pennies out of them?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
we make pennies out of them. They're so cheap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I even
It's
have,
probably worth, the pennies are worth 2 or 3, 4 cents.
Yeah.
yeah, I even have silver solder. What do you call it? Non-lead solder.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
hell,
penny-
if you lived closer, you could have come to me. I would have gave it all to you.
Oh, if I'd known, I probably would have come up there.
Yeah, there you go. No, well,
I
sorry.
think pennies are made
I'm
of
supposed to
zinc,
tow a car from
for
Fremont
coating.
in a couple of weeks. I'm supposed to tow a car from Fremont.
Really? Are you gonna have a pickup truck to tow it, or what?
Yeah, I got a trailer and a pickup truck.
Oh, what? Okay. I was gonna say, shit. Maybe I can get rid of some of my.
I do that on the side for money.
Oh, really? Tow cars? In
Yep.
Fremont. Oh, you had to get my contact stuff, and I'll give you a lot of plumbing supplies that I don't use anymore.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Huh.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that was the home improvement portion of our show,
Yes, right.
Let's go back to medical problems.
brought to you by Dude Wipes.
I'm feeling like crap today. I don't know why. I'm feeling like absolute crap today. Today I got my my stuff from AFTRA, SAG, AFTRA, where we get the yearly apportioning out of the screeners to watch to see movies, so that we can vote on them. Now, granted, a lot of the movies I've seen, but we had got a few we hadn't seen, and we watched two of them today. One was The Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Anybody seen it?
No, but I do want to see it.
Yeah. I wish it were better. Okay. How can I describe what is good and bad about it? What?
You didn't flip your
Oh,
switch.
you know, I always do that. I always do that on Wednesdays. Well, why should I show you guys anyway? I don't
No,
know.
you shouldn't wear ugly.
I don't know. You did that on Friday. I wasn't even on the show, and you didn't do it.
Oh, really? I sit here and I'm out of it these days. I'm just, I'm losing it. It's time for me to retire. Anyway, so we watched this thing, and I said before I even saw it that the thing that would probably bother me about it is I dislike movies where somebody's doing the impression of somebody, and then they say what a great job they did acting because they were doing a great impression of somebody. I mean, a few years ago, you had somebody win for, what was that film about the guy in England? Queen.
Oh, yeah, that one and
Yeah. I mean,
Elvis and everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, every time somebody plays somebody, does an impression, oh, wonderful acting job. No, it's a good impression. Don't you understand?
Yeah.
Well, this movie is me going to hell because everybody in this film is doing an impression of somebody else. You got Ed Norton doing Pete Seeger. You got some other woman doing Joan Baez. Someone else doing Johnny Cash. I mean, it's just a
But
film.
were they as high as they all were?
No. The other thing about it that was kind of interesting was that it was not only the impressions that bothered me, but the fact that it's one song after another. It's like, you remember tribute groups? This is the tribute group of a movie.
Okay.
And while there are a couple of, I think, superior performances in the picture, I think Timothée Chalamet is quite good, to tell you the truth. But the best person in the film, for my money, is Edward Norton playing Pete Seeger, who did a beautiful job of playing Pete Seeger. But that was it. It's not a very good movie, as movies go, and it doesn't do much. It just kind of emulates life. It's like a tribute band,
Yeah. Isn't it called are they calling it a documentary?
No, it's a drama.
No,
It's
just a
drama.
movie.
Complete Unknown. I think it's called The Complete Unknown. Have I got the name right?
Because
It's Led Zeppelin has a documentary coming out. I think it's called a documentary.
Well, Led Zeppelin already had a documentary years ago.
Which one?
I'm trying to remember the name of it now.
They had the song remains
The
the
song
same.
remains the same, yeah.
That was just a fucking movie you go in to watch on LSD or something. That was good.
Was it good?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it. But that was the last time they did anything. They wouldn't authorize anything. And they just authorized this, and it's a behind the scenes type thing. I guess you go watch it at IMAX or some shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just find that when they do impressions in movies, I don't consider that an
Yeah, it's
acting
hard.
job.
Yeah.
They're too busy doing the impression. Did I get the impression right? Well, the thing I liked about Chalamet is he doesn't look much like Bob Dylan. So what you do is you suspend your disbelief and you buy into the fact that he's Bob Dylan in the film. And that's good. And then he sings and he's kind of doing an impression of Dylan. All right? And supposedly he learned how to sing, he learned how to play the guitar, the whole thing to do this movie.
Yeah.
So, But
Well, who was the last one that did? I think it was the Elvis movie, wasn't it? Who was the guy that did the Elvis movie not a year or two ago?
the Elvis movie. Oh, yeah. That one.
That guy couldn't get out of that. I would see him in interviews on Today or whatever.
And he couldn't get out of doing Elvis.
He'd talk like this. He'd talk like this and say, "Oh, this mother."
Yeah.
You know, he very beautiful, very beautiful.
I don't understand.
But he couldn't leave that. He couldn't leave that role for a long time. He got stuck in it.
Yeah. This was directed by the same guy who did the Johnny Cash movie, I Walked the Line, a few years back.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
And the fact was, I'm surprised. Who played Johnny Cash in that?
Joaquin Phoenix.
With Joaquin Phoenix.
That's right, yeah.
I don't know why he didn't get Joaquin Phoenix to play Johnny Cash in this movie.
I saw it. I was going to ask you, do you think he's too old to pull it off?
Who?
No, Joaquin.
Too old? No.
Well, because he was kind of a younger Johnny Cash, I thought, this guy who was playing him at that time.
But this guy isn't very good at doing Johnny Cash. I mean, if you're going to talk about impressions, all right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is you got to determine whether you're going to watch it as an impression or watch it as a movie.
Right. Well, this is like a tribute band turned into a movie. All right? And it's okay. I mean, it's not great. It's not the best picture of the year. That's for damn sure.
Alex, I'm reading the book. The book is better than the movie, I think.
Well, the book is called Bob Dylan Goes Electric.
It really is a lot. I got to call you back now because I wrote some notes down. I don't know if you would. I was going to ask you, but I'll ask you another because I'm almost done with it. It goes into more detail on the folk festival. I didn't realize how many people they were drawing in the early 60s. They were drawing over 10,000 people out there.
Were they?
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was going to tell you that. I couldn't believe it. Like, I think in 63 they had over 10,000.
Well, in the beginning they had the Newport Jazz Festival. And then I think they started the Newport Folk Festival as an adjunct to that. And I didn't know they got that many people back then.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy moly. Alex, I got my mother's record still of freewheeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tell you the truth, I love the movie. I like it, but I like
they kind of portray him as a prick.
Alex, was he kind of, you know what I like about Dylan? You never really got to know who he really was.
Did you have coffee tonight?
Oh, Alex, I got to tell you something about that.
Not my fault.
I got to cut my coffee back.
Why?
His blood pressure.
Because you know why? It's not bad or anything to worry about. I was going to tell you, when I went to my urologist, my cancer's still like not even there, like it's nadar. So he says, Tony says, can I drink coffee? He says, don't drink as much. Because I was realizing, Alex, I was drinking coffee all day. And I'm not just joking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, it could irritate your bladder because of the radiation. So that's not dangerous.
Wait a minute, because of the radiation? What,
yeah,
in coffee?
I didn't realize that. Yeah, because of the caffeine, Alex, and orange juice. I was going to tell you too. Don't drink too much of it. He says that once. I was drinking coffee and like I'll have a little bit. Like if I was making eggs in the morning, I'd be like, I'll make 4 cups of Mr. Coffee.
Weren't you going to ask me a question? Weren't you going to ask me a question?
Yeah, I know, but I was going to tell you, just be careful on the caffeine.
I know, but weren't you going to ask me? Weren't you going to ask me a question?
I forgot now. Yeah.
But they just had a study on coffee and how it's good for you. At least 2 cups in the morning, and then after that,
but they
change that every 6 months anyway. So
yes, Alan.
So the things that upset your bladder, Tony, are acidic things.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Coffee, tea.
Here we go.
Moderation, he told me, Alan.
Wait, Matt, let me finish, Tony.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The doctor's speaking.
And tomato juice. I'm done. Thank you.
Okay.
Now do you remember? Now do you remember what you were going to ask me?
Yeah, but my brother knows I call you. He said, I'm going down to call Alex. He says, oh God. He says, you're still bothering this guy. My brother works out of the house in the city Monday and Tuesday, right, Alex? So he goes, how come you're not drinking coffee? As I'm cutting back, he says, oh God. He goes, I don't believe it. And we were joking. No, you know what I'm putting it in, Alex? I've been making hot tea with a little pinch of lemon and honey. And I actually like it now.
A few minutes ago, weren't we talking about Bob Dylan? How did we
get
what coffee he drinks?
He has caffeine.
No, actually, it's just me hopped up now. I was excited, really. I'm sorry.
I think you were going to ask me if I ever met Dylan.
Yeah, did you ever meet him, Alex, or interview him?
No.
All right, we got past that.
And there's a reason why.
Why is that?
He hated me.
No way.
Yes. I know you can't imagine anybody hating me.
Well, that is true. You did go ahead. So what happened there, really?
A guy by the name of A.J. Weberman, who was called the Dylanologist, who used to go through his garbage.
Really?
Yeah, he used to do what he called garbology.
I'm going to write this guy's name down. Yeah?
That's right.
Did he write anything on him? Alex?
I'm
Or you
thinking
just
about
went through it?
calling the guy and getting him to come on the show since Dylan's back in the news again.
Yeah.
But no, I found this guy at the Goddard Media Festival up in. No, it wasn't Goddard. What's this? Well, maybe it was Goddard. It was a college, but anyway, it was a college up in Connecticut or maybe even Massachusetts. I can't remember where. Anyway. We're all stoned out. I was telling this the other night. We're all stoned out on acid, everybody in the place. And this guy comes up to me and he says, I want to be in your radio show. And I said, what do you do? He says, I'm a Dylanologist. I interpret Bob Dylan's lyrics.
Really?
So I said, sure, come on the show. I mean, I was really stoned at the time, but I figured, this sounds like he's wacky enough that, I could have some fun with him. So he came and did my show a lot of times. And then Dylan one day decided that I invented A.J. Weberman.
Really? That's pretty cool.
Yes. That I invented A.J. Weberman, and he wouldn't talk to me. And I didn't care, to be honest.
I think it's something you
Hey,
were
Tom, you
talking
meant
about with
Lennon.
Lori.
I was talking about with Lori?
Yeah, you were talking about using the handicap stall. I think Dylan didn't like hearing that.
You
I don't
might
know.
have said something.
It just
What?
sounded cute.
What?
I was listening to you and Lori talk about handicap stalls and getting in there and doing your business and stuff, and I'm thinking, God, it's good to know I'm not the only one that goes into the bathroom into the handicap stall.
Oh, the handicap stall is the best stall in the toilet.
Absolutely. There's
I
a lot
think
of
I
room.
go in
Why,
there
why,
now,
should,
myself.
why should the gimps just have control of it?
That's right.
You know?
Library.
Well,
I go
I'm a
in there and
big
then-
guy, and going into one of these other ones and trying to hold, myself up against the wall so I don't urinate.
No, but I
go to the handicap stalls too.
they're great too. They're better than anyway.
And they're cleaner most of the time.
So anyway, no. To answer your question, I've never met Dylan. I've been in the presence of Bob Dylan, but I never. I was at a recording session for Doug Sam, who was the Sir Douglas Quintet. If you ever heard of that group.
No, I'm gonna.
And Doug Sam went over to Atlantic and he started putting out albums on his own. And Bob Dylan showed up to be on the session. And I happened to be in the control room at the time. So that's the closest I've gotten to Bob
Pretty
Dylan.
cool, yeah.
Bob Dylan's still alive.
Yes.
I think 83.
He almost died a few years ago. Had a major medical event. And I think it had something to do with drinking too much coffee in your prostate. But I can't.
Probably.
Maybe you're
How
right.
old is he? He's
Yeah.
got to be in his
83.
Yeah, he's 83, yeah.
80s.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
He's your age, Alex. You're, what, 83, right?
Still a youngster.
No, I'm 85.
Oh, shit. Actually,
You
Alex,
didn't even
look-
send me. You didn't even send me a birthday card.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry.
Tony.
You're right. It was December. I apologize, Alex. I'll send.
Oh,
I gotta send you some. I got your address. I'll send you some.
By the way, I have a little piece of information for you. Are you familiar with who Neil Gaiman is?
Yeah, Alex. What happened with him? I didn't hear the story. I love his books.
Neil
I think
Gaiman is a very well-known
Oh, yeah.
comic book writer, or
I think he wrote The Sandman.
excuse me, they're not comic books. They're
Check you with me.
they're illustrated novels. What are they
graphic
called?
novels. Graphic novels.
Graphic novels.
Graphic novel.
Yeah.
Great writer.
Yeah. And he's a great writer, absolutely great writer. He's
Yeah,
written episodes of Doctor Who. He was The Watchmen his.
Oh no, that was Alan Moore.
Oh, okay.
He did this. He did the Sandman, which is phenomenal. I'll send you the Sandman. I'll
The
buy
Sandman.
it for you.
They did.
Yeah, really. good.
Anyway, I knew he'd be one of your favorites. Well, he
Yeah, I love
is
him.
being yelled and screamed at because
Why?
they say that they're saying that he did some not nice things to some women or something. Says
Oh.
he denies sexual assault allegations detailed in New York Magazine. And in his statement on his website, he says he's never engaged in non-consensual sexual activity with anyone, and that women's accounts contain moments I half recognize and moments I don't. Descriptions of things happen sitting beside things that emphatically did not happen. Whatever. Anyway, he's denying them. So
His statement implements him in it. if you read it verbatim. I mean,
Read the story.
he says, I remember half and I don't remember the other half.
I never
mean,
engaged in non-consensual sexual activity with anyone, and that the women's accounts contain moments I half recognize and moments I don't. Descriptions of things that happened sitting besides things that emphatically did not happen. So I don't know what that means, but
I don't know.
apparently he's trying to say, no, I didn't.
It wouldn't be a good thing to say in court.
Well,
To me, it sounds like he's admitting that he was out of his mind and doesn't remember half of
well,
it.
it would be a terrible day for our good friend Tony here,
Yeah, I mean, he's great. I
because
love
he loves.
You know who I like even better than him now? Maybe I'll get the book a second. He's really good, this guy.
I wonder what brand axe Tony buys. He's always axing somebody.
Well, anyway, so that's what we're into now. So did we lose him already?
Go back to
He
plumbing.
went to get something to show you.
Oh, good. I can hardly wait.
We're getting more
Cutting
coffee.
back on. He's cutting back on coffee. He's only drinking 3 pots a day now. Yeah, coffee, acidic juices and drinks are
Oh, boy.
notorious for upsetting, mainly when women.
What? What?
Mainly in women's bladders, but I guess it could happen to men too. My bladder can't handle tomato juice.
Are we back to that discussion?
Oh
You know-
no, we're not discussing. I was just making a statement. Tony's back. That's what we're at.
I actually got to meet him. My brother, he was in the New York Library, the big one in the city, so my brother got me tickets. It was years ago. Michael Chabon, great writer. This is the amazing adventures of Cavalier and Clay. They were supposed to make this an HBO movie.
Wait, how did all this come up?
Oh, because this is about, this is loosely about. I gave this to Shecky. He loved it, Alex. And you know what Shecky said? This was loosely about the Superman creator. Like in his own mind.
Shecky's dead.
Well,
Okay.
I always remember him. And look at this, Alex. I got an autograph.
Oh boy, here we go. It's a book report now.
It is. I'll let you go on this. Chris, my
Donald J. Trump.
to Anthony, and it was like Michael Chabon his autograph.
Raise it up.
He's from San Francisco, Alex. I didn't realize.
I've never heard of the guy.
Oh, he's really good, Alex. You would like him. This Cavalier and Clay, phenomenal book. Phenomenal. Really
Well,
great.
Get him one for his birthday, Tony.
I'll send you a copy of this because it's about Jewish immigrants. They emigrate out, and then they
Now,
come
if you
here
sent
for.
me that, I would be
This could be
interested.
Alex.
What
This,
is
this would win
this
a
show
best picture.
becoming tonight?
I'm telling you, Alex, if you had the money, this should be a movie. This would win best picture. This book.
People,
question.
if you're listening and you say, "Is this guy crazy?" I think he is. I definitely have a.
I'm telling you, that book is phenomenal.
Oh God.
I'm telling you, really good.
Let's go back to your prostate
sorry.
again.
I know. I'm trying to not watch the news because the crook is coming in Monday. Oh man.
Monday.
Oh, Monday. Yeah, he's going to be.
Maybe he'll have a heart attack before that.
Well, everybody's saying he's not my president, so But I don't care. He's still going to screw up your life.
Yes.
So. I don't like to talk about him, but
Good. Let's talk about somebody else then.
Didn't you like watching Pete Hegseth, whatever his name is, yesterday?
Fox News commentator. He's going to run the military.
This is good.
He thinks he is.
Well, I bet he will.
I bet he will too.
I bet he's going to get it.
I bet he
Yeah,
will.
all Republicans will vote for him.
And Charlie, did you see Steve Bannon is at war with the other guy now?
Oh, with Elon Musk. Yeah, Steve
Elon
Bannon has said Elon Musk is dangerous. He's a horrible person, And
Give
believe
him something
me,
to rate now. I mean, we don't
believe
know
me,
that.
when what's his name says that, you got to know you're pretty bad.
I was going to say, Alex, how bad is he then, really?
If Hitler says you're a bad guy, you must be a bad guy.
Look who's talking, this guy over here. Somebody killed this guy already. You wish they would have took him out. I mean, geez.
Hitler says I don't like him. He's no good. Well, if he says that, he must be right.
Yeah. So what's going on here?
Yeah. But anyway, what?
Can we talk about for Musk for just a minute? I think that, he's nuzzled up to Trump, And once he's done using Trump to get rid of all these lawsuits, these federal lawsuits against his company, he's going to find out that he's not getting all the uh, all the media attention that he wants. They both are media hogs, and one of them's got to go, and Trump will kick him to the wind.
Oh, Trump's going to kick him to the win any day now because he's getting more press than he is.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
more
no,
press.
there's no question about it.
Yep.
You know.
So we should take a thing. Who will get fired
Well,
first?
I think what's wonderful is that in his last moments as president, Joe Biden has managed to solve the problem in Gaza.
I was so glad. I thought we were going to do a Reagan transaction, Alex, when he got in.
Trump's going to take credit for it, of course.
Trump already has.
What? This bitch.
He says, because I won the election, that they caved in.
Oh, come on.
Yep.
He thinks everybody's afraid of him.
Yep.
There's a lot of hard work that went into forging that deal.
Well, Biden says it was done. All the deal was done in May of 2024. So how does Trump claim credit for it? I mean, he will, but
It was done 4 years ago.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to claim a lot of things, it's, I think, wonderful that as a last moment of his presidency, he was able to accomplish this.
I think so, too.
I like it.
Now,
yeah.
let's see if Trump can screw it up.
Oh, he probably will.
See, that's the problem. And he
Well, the
might
question
screw it
is-
up on purpose just to make Biden supposedly look bad. Okay, see, it wasn't a really good thing, and see how they got out of it, and so on. Yeah.
He'll call his brother Netanyahu and say, "Hey, start shooting missiles back over there again."
Well,
He'll say, "I'll back you."
I'm just glad that's over with. For the time being, at least. I think people are going to be disappointed when the people who were kidnapped or taken hostage don't show up, because they're probably dead by now, and they're probably dead because of Israeli shelling of Gaza.
Probably.
So I mean, you watch starting Tuesday, he's going to say, "Well, I made it really happen." He's
I'm sorry, Alex. But what really bothers me, I'm not going to mention his name, just like you said. He can't just, but it's Biden's still president, and he's still trying to take credit. It's like he never takes a back seat. I don't get how these people voted for this asshole, really.
It's very easy. They pulled a lever.
Did you hear Biden in the media today?
He's arrogant, though.
Biden in the media today said, he explained the thing about ending the war and all that kind of stuff. And one of the reporters on his way out said, "Are you going to give Trump any credit?" He turned around.
I know. I saw that.
And then said, "Are you joking?" And kept on walking. Is that a joke?
What he said to him was,
Is that a joke?
"Does Trump get any credit for this?" And he turned around and said, "Are you joking?"
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you
That
see
was great.
Kamala Harris's look when that was great too? She was standing right next to him. It was hilarious.
Well, I have noticed lately, and it may be my bias, I don't know, but it kind of appears to me that these news reporters ask the stupidest questions.
Yep.
Well, I think it's because Trump is trying to take credit for it, so that's why the reporters.
They'll be interviewing somebody in L.A. whose home just burned down, and they'll say to them, "So how do you feel about this?"
It's great.
Do you have to ask that question?
The guy's crying his eyes out, and they got the camera right in his face.
Yeah, but I mean,
And they continue to deep drill him.
yeah. I mean,
And Trump was tweeting out on his thing how it's Newsom's fault. Like, this is the great divide. The whole LA is burning down, and this guy is trying to make it all.
well, this is while it was burning down. This was in the very beginning. He was starting to just go after Newsom, and really, that's not the time to start bitching.
He was calling him new scum.
Yeah, you're right. Can you believe that? Like, I mean, nobody. I can't get over how he gets away with this, really.
Well,
Well, he
And
gets
the
away with it
Republicans
because
want to tie strings to the aid to California.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Tell them more Republicans.
Speaker of the
They
House
did that
said
with the hurricane in Florida.
there's going to be conditions.
yeah. That's
Yep.
incredible.
yeah.
Isn't it though?
I mean, it's not the time to use that for bitching. You know, I mean, come on. This is a very sad day for California. Do you realize the amount of property completely burnt to the ground is the same as the total area of Manhattan?
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Imagine that, Tony.
You know?
Imagine if
Yeah, that's crazy.
every building in Manhattan burnt down, it would be about the same amount as what happened in the
New York
Los
will be
Angeles area.
decimated.
And
We have
it's, and it's still burning.
It's still burning, but not like it was.
Well, they're
Okay.
expecting the weather tomorrow and the next day to calm down.
Yeah.
This is nothing new. These are Santa Ana winds. They
Yeah.
cause small fires every year. This got out of control.
Well,
Yeah.
there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there's more to it than
Well, the
just
LA
that.
Fire Department was short firefighters, so
They
but
were,
that's
short,
not
they were
Newsom's
short
fault.
firefighters.
There might have been arson too.
There might have been some arson. They don't
Might have
think
been.
all of it is arson. They think
No.
one of the fires might have been arson.
Justin Trudeau is bringing firefighters in, and Mexico is bringing firefighters in. And Trump said, when I become president, they're the first to go. That I'm going to kick them out of the country. I'm like, these people are helping.
You kidding me?
They can only make you look good, Trump. Leave them alone.
They came up here to put out the fires, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it was started with 16. Now there's like 2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
But-
guy just,
You know.
Trump doesn't care about people. He cares about how it looks for him.
that's right.
Did you hear
Op-
today how he was talking about how he's going to economically punish Canada if they don't agree to become the 51st state?
Did he
you
say
hear
that?
that? Oh, he went on and on and on about it in a press conference today. How we're spending $200 billion a year to support Canada, and he's gonna put all kinds of sanctions on Canada until they agree to be a state.
You
No,
know
we
what,
should-
Trump-
He
The
said that
trouble-
today.
Not,
Yeah,
Hey,
the
Ray, you know
trouble
what
is
they
the
should-
sanctions are going to hurt our country.
They're gonna hurt
He says
us.
he says they won't. He says we don't need them.
you know what they should, Ray, you
All
know what they
right.
should tell Trump then?
We don't need them. Do we need their coal?
No,
He
no.
says we have all we need. We don't need any
No,
of
we
their
don't.
stuff.
We don't need their
No, we
lumber.
don't.
Whatever you.
I'm just. This is what he said today. I heard him on a
You know what
press
they
conference.
should tell Trump then, a reporter? Well, yeah, there'll be a 51st state. They got universal health care. Does that mean we get it too?
No, that means they don't get it anymore.
Oh, so they have. Oh, I see.
They're
what
not
you're
going to.
saying.
They're not going to become the 51st state.
I was just reading a thing. The guys get a.
I'm just saying what he said he's going to do
No,
to try to.
We know.
Well, he thinks we're gonna
Why
take
would
over
we
Greenland,
want
too.
Canada to be the 51st state? It's to
Because he
begin
says
with,
we're already giving them
it's
200.
too much. It's too much land mass with too little amount of people in it for the land mass. All right, they
It's for
only
his
live
ego.
close to the border here. Up above, nobody's living.
It's for his ego. That's why.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
It's like buying a
Greenland,
big old truck
we're
when you
going
have
to
a
buy
small lead.
Greenland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's well. He says he might even use military in Greenland.
I couldn't believe that. This is a man of peace. He's
No,
ready
I
to
think
go
he's going to
take over
use
Greenland.
military in the Panama Canal. But here's
Yeah.
the funny part about the Panama Canal. You know what the problem is right now at the Panama Canal? It's not in very good shape anymore. Okay? And it's falling apart. And they don't know if they have enough money to fix it up. So consequently, if he wants to take over the Panama Canal, it's not only going to be an expensive process militarily, it's going to be an expensive process repairing it.
Don't you love how he didn't mention any of these things when he was running for
When he
president?
was running, yeah.
And remember now he said 2 weeks. I can't bring food prices down. No shit, Sherlock.
What a
I wonder
scumbag!
how many of the people that voted for him are saying, "Boy, did we make a mistake."
Not many.
Oh, they're going to be doing it in about 2 years. There's going to be a lot of buyers or voters remorse.
By the next election, yeah.
Yeah, by the next election. Because
right now,
none of
no.
the things he promised are going to come to pass. And they expect him to come to pass immediately because he said, like,
Day one, he's gonna
solve the Ukraine war.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
But
remember that? He's going to hand that country.
well, maybe he will give the Ukraine over to Russia, you know. But he's going to solve the Ukraine war. Well, if
Yeah,
he
by not
doesn't,
giving them any aid. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the president of Ukraine was talking to Germany and a couple other countries today in case the U.S. cuts them off. Will they supply them? And the chancellor of Germany said, "We'll fill in."
Cool.
Oh, good.
Right on.
Good.
Right on.
You know, I mean, I just think that I'm worried. However, I am worried for Ukraine. I'm very worried for them under Trump.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Because what he will. However, you know what's happening? They got these North Koreans that were sent to Russia to be on the front in Ukraine, and now they're being captured, and they're happy as hell to be captured.
Yeah.
Thank you. May I have
Get them out
another?
of North Korea for good.
Yeah, really. They come to the front line with a white flag. Come on, take me.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being some poor schmuck in North Korea living this hell life, and then now you got to go fight for Russia? Oh, God. I mean, Christ, that is so messed
And
up.
they don't understand Russian. So how does Russia control them?
Who knows?
Well, I don't know. Apparently, they have translators. I don't know.
Sign language.
You can do Google Translate now too, Alex, if you're just talking to the phone.
Yeah. Now the other thing is, Facebook and Meta are supposedly getting a lot of people quitting them.
Yeah, he laid off people.
Because they don't like. I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking, should I get rid of Facebook or shouldn't I?
I got rid of Prime, Alex.
The head of Facebook, with Zuckerberg, said they're going to do away with the diversity thing.
No, I know that's a week ago.
It's all to kiss Trump's ass.
That was a week ago. He said that. Yeah.
And no.
Well, that's why
policing
people are leaving in great numbers. Oddly enough.
Guess Trump's ass now. And when Trump leaves office, he'll go bankrupt.
Well, I quite frankly, I'm trying to consider whether I want to get rid of Facebook or not. What am I going to do about Facebook? Maybe I'll start just putting down Facebook on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to matter. People are doing.
They have a new one, Blue Sky. You can go on too, Alex, and slowly convert over.
But that's just like Twitter.
Is that Twitter?
Yeah.
Well, it's like Twitter. It's like X. Yeah. It's not like Facebook.
There's nothing quite like Facebook, is there?
No.
I do like Facebook, yeah, because it's kind of cool. You can put pictures up and stuff.
Yeah, but I feel guilty about being on them. I mean, I don't like YouTube that much because of all their censorship and stuff, and the stuff I have to deal with all the time where they're completely wrong,
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I really, Facebook, I don't know whether I just am not happy being part of that.
Yeah.
I'm helping what's his name out, that jerk. Zuckerberg. Yeah.
So he just wants to be up there with Elon in the favoritism category.
Yep.
It's an oligarchy now.
It is an oligarchy. Yeah.
It's just like Russia now.
Well, Biden warned against the oligarchies and saying that these media organizations are the new oligarchs.
Yeah.
Because think about it.
And Musk is the head oligarch. He gets whatever he wants now. I mean, he has more influence on our government than anybody.
He's the new
or
president.
Or any entity.
He's the what?
The new president, not Trump.
Well, no, he's not. I mean, I can tell you right now, Trump's going to drop him like a hot potato.
I totally agree.
Anytime he feels that Musk is getting more popular and getting more news than he is.
Absolutely.
What if Musk also offers him another $500 million or something though?
Offers who?
You think he'll drop him? Well, I mean, Musk gave $250 million right before Trump was elected, and now he could just keep pouring money into
Is
the
he
Trump fund.
is he allowed to give him that much money? I don't
He
think
did.
so. I don't think he's allowed
You
to.
No, it was supporting his PACs.
He did. He put
Yeah,
250
there's no
million
limit
into
on
Ray's
how much
right. I
money
think he's
he
right.
puts in
Yeah.
You know,
PACs.
Ray, that's a lot of money for you.
I think
and
Ray's right though. I don't know
Him,
about that.
it's nothing.
No,
Well, yeah.
to him it's nothing, but to Trump it's not nothing.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Trump needs money.
He could
What,
do
what
half a
bothers
billion.
me, I think, more than anything else, is all the people that are kissing Trump's ass.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I just find that bothersome. It's like they're paying obedience to him.
They
So
are.
gross.
First
It's
of
so
all,
gross.
you see how what's his name over at Facebook, Zuckerberg, is kissing his ass, doing everything he would want. All right. And then you see all these other people doing it too. People who should really hate him. I mean, shouldn't Marco Rubio hate Trump
Yes.
for all
called him
the
Willy
things that
Wonka.
Trump said about him? You know,
Lindsey Graham.
it's amazing.
A little bit sanctimonious. Oh, I know stuff about him, about his wife. He's not. He's praising him. It's just they have no spine.
Yeah.
Did you see the woman
He is.
the woman who's being interviewed for the Attorney General? Did you see her today?
Yeah.
Tulsi
Oh, my
Gabbard.
God.
Yeah.
Bondi, yeah.
She wouldn't even say that Trump lost the 2020
Oh,
election.
the Attorney General. You mean Biondi?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Or Bondi? Is it
Bondi.
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 Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah. This is the Attorney General. She won't say that Trump lost the election.
This is the world we live in, really.
That's screwed up.
Yeah, it's like they don't believe in anything. They know it's.
Well, she's afraid to say it.
Yeah, you're right. Ray, you think he's got something on him that they're afraid
Well,
to
see,
go?
logic would dictate that Trump lost the election. Okay? By every measurement we have, he lost that election.
Yeah.
To not be able to say it and fear that Trump is going to suddenly come down on you and not give you this little pissant job that he's giving you is selling out. How do you sleep with yourself at night? You
I have
know?
no idea how these people
Yeah,
live
you're
with
right. I
themselves.
couldn't do it.
You know, I mean,
Well, it's
and
not just-
it shows that we've gotten to a point in America where, number one, no one, or rather, anyone is above the law. Okay, you know, I mean, here is a guy who has proven that, hey, if you're president, you're above the law,
Yep.
and
And the Supreme Court agreed with him.
Yep.
yeah, and all these cases fell by the wayside. Cases which Jack Smith yesterday wrote that whole memo and everything, saying we had the goods on him. We could have convicted him in a court of law, but we
Could have
just
done it if they started it earlier.
well, it's not a matter of starting it earlier. They also had the Supreme Court with their ruling about as president, blah 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 blah. And how are you going to prove that this wasn't in his wheelhouse of doing it as part of his duties? You know.
Well, a lot of the cases had to do with stuff he did before he became president, and those have fallen by the wayside too.
Well, the New York one happened before he was president. It was a local matter, okay, and the judge in that case just said, you know, he's guilty. He's a felon. He will forever be known as a felon. But I'm not going to give him any jail time. And I think the reason he did that is if he tried to give him jail time, then it would get held up in the courts and everything else. This way, hey, he's a felon, you know, free and clear. And so I think that's why he made the decision not to give him any jail time or even fine him, but saying he's guilty. Okay?
Yeah, but still,
And let's not forget that Trump is a civilly liable rapist,
yeah.
as determined by a jury of his peers.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Are they going to say he doesn't have to pay E. Jean Carroll now because he's president?
Oh, no. I think he'll still have to pay E. Jean Carroll.
When's he going to pay her?
Well,
He hasn't paid her yet.
about the same time that Rudy Giuliani is going to pay those two women down in Georgia their money.
Yeah.
You know, just stall, 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 then stall some more. You know.
It's incredible.
She'll never get the money.
What? Well, I mean, it's incredible the times we live in here.
I think she still got justice by getting him convicted. You know, she may never get the money because he may stall, but she got justice.
It still got reelected, and he paid no price for any of this. He does all these wrong things, these evil things.
Because we live in an America, quite frankly, that I don't want to live in anymore. But I'm at my age. You know, how much time do I have to not live here anymore? You know? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I mean, Marjorie and I are very much thinking of moving to Portugal or Spain to get out of here and not have to put up with this because we're just fed up with America. Because remember, as much as you want to yell and scream and blame Trump for this, that, and the other thing, the only people you really have to blame are the people you live with in this country. And this country has turned into a very ugly country.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, Alex, I have a good friend and his wife who live in Portugal. They're just a few years younger than you, and they absolutely love it.
Yeah.
They live in Lisbon.
Yeah. And they they have permanent residency there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they are of a certain age, right?
Yeah, and they have a great apartment and they have a great life.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
What's healthcare like there?
It's good. Yeah, I mean, I think
it's important. It's important when you get older to have good health.
Well, I don't know whether we get that health care not being a citizen of the country.
I'm not sure.
Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
important to know.
Yeah.
Because Marjorie's probably going to go in for another operation for things in her back.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, she's got what do you call it? What do we call it? You know,
bone spurs?
No.
No, a pinched nerve.
Pinched nerves. And they've got to be operated on.
Wow.
And it's a 2-day stay in the hospital. So.
Yeah.
So
I'm going for a knee replacement next week.
Oh, really?
And I have pneumonia right now.
We'll feel better already.
And you have pneumonia?
How'd
you get that?
Because I had the flu and it turned into pneumonia.
Ooh, did you get the flu shot, right?
Yeah, I took the flu shot and COVID. I had COVID. 3 weeks later, I got the flu. And then the flu went away. Day after that, I got pneumonia. And now I'm supposed to go to surgery next week. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to have the surgery because I have pneumonia.
What's the surgery on?
Isn't getting older
my knee.
Oh, your knee?
Yeah.
Are you breathing all right, Ray?
I just... No, I cough. I mean, I cough up all kinds of crap all the time, and I just feel really tired. And
just be careful with the breathing. He checked your lungs and everything, right? That
Yeah, I had an X-ray. I had fluid in my lungs.
Know he's got pneumonia.
Yeah, fluid in my lungs. So I have 2 antibiotics I'm taking.
Okay,
so.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But I don't know. You know, I mean, so Marjorie, we've got to be able to have access to good medical care to any country we go to.
Yeah, you need to check that out.
And so we have to find out if we can get that, and if we can't, then do we have to fly back every time we have a doctor's appointment? You know, or can we have a doctor's appointment in another country? I don't know. You know. But I just don't want to live here. This is an ugly country, and it's not worth, you know, my time of day. And I've given up on it completely. I mean, there were times in my life where I've said, "Oh, if that guy gets elected president, I'm leaving." And then I never did. You know. Hold on a second. I got to blow my nose.
Alex, I just looked it up on ChatGPT. It says that they have public health care called Serviço Nacional Saúde, which provides universal health care services to residents, including foreign residents.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll save money on my health insurance.
Non-EU citizens, after obtaining legal residency, non-EU citizens can also register, and this involves obtaining a user number. So all you have to do is register and you get it.
Really?
As if you're a non-EU resident of Portugal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just that this country's just become absolutely wholeheartedly ugly.
Yep.
And the
Yeah.
fact that they would vote for this guy and put this guy into office and vote for him with everything they knew about him, just, I mean, I could see him getting 35% of the vote. There are that many ugly, horrible people in this country, but apparently there are far more than that. Okay,
A lot more.
a lot more,
Yeah.
and it's terrible what's happened, and it's terrible if they would elect this guy. I mean, look, there are people I've just liked, and I didn't want to see be president, like Bush, like Reagan, and so on. But at least they were decent people, And
And they had some respect for the
they
Constitution.
have absolute respect for the Constitution and for the job that they
Even
held.
Nixon did.
Even,
yeah.
He's gonna take an oath again that he's not even gonna pay attention to after Monday.
You're right.
yeah.
He has no respect for the Constitution. He hates it. He sees it as an impediment.
The way the media hates him, I mean, the way he goes after the media, they should do a blackout on media for his inauguration.
They're not going to do
We
it.
got
Are
a
you
commission
kidding me?
Monday or Sunday.
You kidding me? I mean, right now, do you know something you haven't paid attention to? Comcast, which owns NBC, is thinking of offloading MSNBC as its own company
Yeah.
and not associating it with Comcast because they're afraid of the repercussions that are going to happen to MSNBC as a result. Also, they just got rid of the person who was running MSNBC and replaced him with a temporary person to take it over. So there's a lot of signs there that the censorship you're worried about is slowly taking place, but the worst part about it is it's censorship that is self-imposed by the people being censored.
Yeah.
And so between all of that, this is a real problem. There's going to be no media out there that is going to be opposing Trump on any level. And I'm sure the powers that be over at NBC are going to tell the people at MSNBC, hold it down. Yeah, you can still
They did
go
with
at...
CNN.
Huh?
They did that with CNN.
Well, I don't know that they did it with CNN consciously, but as a result of one thing and another, CNN became that way.
Yeah.
But it's just all the way around. I mean, while I'm not too fond of MSNBC, I do realize their value in the equation right now, and to suddenly put yourself in a position where you're changing the head of MSNBC. What does that say? You're telling people that Comcast is thinking about offloading MSNBC into its own thing. Also, a couple of other NBC outlets, like maybe CNBC and so on. You really have to wonder, what's really going on here. And what's going on here is you're going to find a country in the next 4 years in which dissent is not going to be easily available to your ears, So, anyway.
Yay.
Yay.
Like that guy from Germany.
What did you say?
That sounds like that guy from Germany a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not too good. Not too good. But I don't want to depress you all.
I did a fine job of doing that.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go slit my wrist now.
Yeah, go slit your wrist. But take off your Apple Watch first, okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
And
you
do it with the piece of leftover copper.
You don't want
pipe.
to slice
There you go.
the wristband, Hey, thank you so much, Alan, for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. I got a cold now. And thank you, Alex, for being here. Well, it's very nice to have been here. Charlie, great having you here, okay? 40824, what was that? Oh, that was the
That was
eclipse.
the total eclipse of the sun in
Eclipse
Austin.
of the sun. Yes, and of course, thank you to our good friend Kevin. Nice having you here, Kevin. Guess what? It's Tony, and he hasn't said anything in the last 10 minutes. The coffee must be wearing off.
Tea now and honey.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Ray for being here as well.
Feel better, Ray.
Yeah, give yourself a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you, okay? There they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel for tonight. We'll have another citizen panel tomorrow night. There'll be another one right after this show with Amy Manuel on the program she likes to call The Intersection. We'll see you tomorrow night, same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.